great superhero has an origin story. And so does every great superhero studio. For Disney's Marvel Studios, its origins may be modern, but it operates more like classic Hollywood.
There's never been anything quite like this in terms of getting back to a bona fide studio system.
That's Thomas Schatz, author of this book. He says 3 key elements of the old studio system are:
very bright head of production, who's a hands-on producer, a regulated, carefully controlled production process, and intellectual property.
Marvel checks all 3. First, you have Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios. Think of him like Nick Fury, assembling the Avengers.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
I do think the success of Marvel, without question, can be traced to Kevin Feige taking over production.
Makes sense.
It's a model of efficiency, and it's an effort to, to regulate the production process in a way that contemporary Hollywood is fundamentally incapable of doing.
Old Hollywood essentially pumped out movies on an assembly line model. Feige replicates this by breaking up the movies into phases, and he doesn't miss his deadlines. He handles the big picture plans.
Look at the big picture. How can things relate across movies?
As well as the minutiae of each film and character. That level of control has led to a carefully crafted plan developing character and story. It all started with 5 solo films. By the time they all teamed up in the Avengers, people already knew and loved them. They felt invested in that story.
He's a friend from work.
Every single Marvel movie has debuted at #1 at the box office. That's brought in over $12.5 billion worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
The studios even turned films about characters you've never heard of into mega hits.
Who? Well, Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Guys?
For Marvel, it's more about the brand than the star or even the character.
Anyone else?
Fans can rely on a winning formula repeated in every single movie. It's a certain mix of action, romance, drama, and laughs that the audiences love. Here's CNN media critic Brian Lowry on Marvel's web of films.
There's definitely a connective tissue to the Marvel movies, but there's still room for directors to explore a bit within those parameters.
Compare that to its main competitor, DC Comics.
My world.
Until Wonder Woman, the studio had struggled to find its footing. Wonder Woman was a bona fide hit that focused on an iconic character and was arguably much different than what the genre had seen before.
I compel you to tell me the truth.
It remains to be seen if DC can continue that success. Marvel keeps its fans coming back by sprinkling in different genres into its lineup. It has done everything from political thrillers to heist films to even family dramas. But just like old Hollywood, these variations can stray just a bit too far from the Marvel style. For example, director Edgar Wright eventually dropped out of Ant-Man over different visions for the film.
Wasn't my idea.
The studio has been pushing out multiple movies a year and even multiple TV shows. But
the question becomes, one of market saturation. At what point will people have had enough of this?
And while Marvel has brought back the old school practice of locking in actors for long periods of time, major cast members like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans can't take on Hydra forever.
I think they need a timeout.
Regardless, what Disney and Marvel Studios has done is nothing less than assemble one of the most successful superhuman studios in this or any era of Hollywood.